Hello everyone, and welcome to my review of Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 117. So, we've got a couple big things to go over this week, and they all center around this one main thing, and that being Megumi's new Shikigami, Eight-Handled Sword Divergent Scylla Divine General Mahoraga. Christ, that's a mouthful. I guess I'm just gonna call him Mahoraga, or otherwise I'm going to call him Ichigo because, as many people have pointed out, his everything beneath the head looks a lot like Vasto Lord Ichigo, um, which will definitely further play into the comparisons to Bleach, which I kind of see. Um, Now, this thing is apparently an absolute beast. We find out that supposedly several hundred years ago, Gojo's ancestor and a member of the Zenin clan fought each other to the death, and the member of Gojo's family had the six eyes and limitless curse technique. So he basically had the same techniques as Gojo, and they killed each other, which means that Mahoraga apparently, in theory, has enough power to kill Gojo, maybe. Now, of course, just because this person had the same abilities as Gojo does not mean they were as strong as him, but the limitless technique and the six eyes are absurd, and they pretty much make you top of the verse. So this thing is clearly very powerful, and it's a good thing that we're seeing this, because with Yuji getting up to 15 fingers means that he has a massive power boost over the rest of the cast. So the rest of the main three need to have significant power-ups. And Megumi potentially getting Mahoraga, because there's still conditions that may not be met, which I'll get into in a second. And then we also have to consider Nobara getting stuff soon. And we haven't seen what she's been doing since Naname beat up Hand Guy. I would assume that she's probably going to be getting some kind of power-up relatively soon. But the reason Megumi summoned Mahoraga was so that him and Hand Guy would be trapped in an exorcism ritual for the purpose of defeating Mahoraga, which I guess means that if Mahoraga is defeated, Megumi will be able to use him all the time. I'm checking the chapter again. Okay, so if someone else other than the person that summoned the Shikigami kills it, the technique, the exorcism ritual is useless and they don't get to use it. But he summoned it for the specific purpose of killing Hand Guy, which I don't think we've gotten his name yet, so I'm just going to keep calling him Hand Guy. And it seems like because of the exorcism ritual, Megumi can't die until it's over, I guess, with the way Sukuna describes it at the end, saying that he's in a state of suspended death. And apparently if Hand Guy was killed, then the ritual would have ended and Megumi would have died. So I guess everyone involved in the ritual has to be killed in order for the ritual to end and for all the people involved to die. So I guess killed, quote-unquote, as in, like, fatally injured, as Megumi is smashed into a wall. Next thing, Sukuna is here. We see a little bit more of his interaction with Urayume, and apparently she is making some kind of preparations for him for when he's quote-unquote completely free. I assume his completely free form is the version of Sukuna that we see in the color page this week, which seems to be Sukuna in the past, 1,000 years ago or whatever. Which it's good, I guess, to finally see what he actually looks like, because the entire time we've seen Sukuna in the series, it's just Yuji with the Sukuna tattoos and extra eyes. So it's interesting to see what he originally looked like. I know his same appearance led a lot of people to believe that Yuji was like Sukuna's human reincarnation, even though his cursed spirit form was still around. Like, some stuff like that sounded kind of dumb. So, this just confirms that Sukuna did not look like Yuji when he was around in the past. But Sukuna interrupts the exorcism ritual, and he saves Hangai, and he heals Megumi, which does confirm. I think it was offhandedly mentioned earlier in the arc that Sukuna's reverse curse technique would probably be able to heal injuries like Doctor Lady. So that's probably going to be how we end up saving Maki, Naobito, and Nanami. Because I don't think they're going to die. I think they still have plenty of stuff to do. At least Maki and Nanami. I don't know. Naobito's new, and he's one of the oldest characters in the series, so he could probably croak. And he's part of the Zenin family. Like, the Zenin family establishment. So, we don't care too much about Naobito. But at the very end of the chapter, we see that Sukuna is going to have to fight Mahoraga as someone who interrupted the ritual. And even though he interrupted the ritual, he described himself as like an outsider or something. I guess the ritual will still end if he kills Mahoraga. Now, apparently this thing is strong enough to give Sukuna like an actual fight, because he low-diffed Jogo, he zero-diffed Geto's disciples. He's very strong at only 75% power. So since this thing was able to kill someone with the same powers as Gojo, it's very safe to assume that this thing will give Sukuna like an actual fight. And we'll probably get to see more of his curse techniques. I assume we will get to learn more about how his actual curse techniques work, other than just, oh, I was doing air slashes before, but now I have fire, and I won't explain how my technique works to you, because that would be cheating. So, presumably, we're going to see that soon. And I also suspect, to avoid, having Megumi get fucking killed, that it's going to be in this fight that Yuji snaps back to reality, and takes back control of his body. I also have a feeling that Megumi is going to kill steal Sukuna / Yuji, whoever's conscious by the end of the fight. Because, like, they said that you can exercise it with multiple people, but I would have to assume that he sort of means, like, if someone else kills the Shikigami, then the exorcism's pointless. I think it would make more sense that you can have other people help, but as long as you are the person to exercise it, then you get to control it. That would make a decent amount of sense, and that would be how he gets his new power-up. Because he's obviously going to need one, as I mentioned earlier, in order to compete with Yuji. And I guess we'll see where that goes next week. So, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I do Jujutsu Kaisen reviews every week. If you enjoyed discussing Jujutsu Kaisen with other people, you should check out my Discord server. I'll have a link in the description. If you're interested in other series, such as Record of Ragnarok, Chainsaw Man, Kengan Omega, and Bleach, I do videos on those series on my channel as well, and you can also discuss them on my Discord server. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.